Okay, my friends, we are 1,000 seconds old. How old are we in minutes? All right, well, we're going to start with 1,000 seconds. We need minutes. So the conversion you're going to need here is the one between seconds and minutes, which is there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. So looking at the units, I see seconds up top, which means I got to make sure I put 60 seconds down here and 1 minute, minute up here. Now the units are gonna balance just fine there. Seconds to seconds. And then all we gotta do is we have to do 1,000 divided by 60, and the only unit we have left now is minutes. Let's see what I got. Those zeros divide off. 16 and some change, almost 17. Almost 17 minutes, I think. Let's just check. Actually, I think it's like 16.6666. Yep, it's exactly what it is, 16.6666. So it's about 17 minutes. So that's how long 1,000 seconds is. Let's do 1,000,000 seconds next. Okay, now this one, I want us to do it in days. So we're gonna bypass minutes. However, I don't know how many seconds are in a day, but we can string a bunch of fractions together. We gotta get this out days the other side. Days. Okay. I think this is going to be one like that one we did a couple back, where we had multiple conversion fractions along the way. So, for example, seconds is a pretty small unit of time, but we can convert from seconds to minutes by saying there are 60 seconds in a minute. And using our, I don't know where the fuchsia marker went. It's somewhere. Using our divide off marker, we can knock off seconds. But now we're only in minutes. And 1,000,000 divided by 60 is huge. I think it's too big a number to process. What's the next larger time unit, longer time unit than minute? I think it's hours, right? And there's 60 minutes in an hour. 60 minutes in 1 hour. I'm running out of space. So I'm going to erase that for now. We'll put it back in later. And I'm going to get a different marker, because now minutes are going to be gone. Yay. And now we're almost there, because now we got to go from hours to days. That's not bad. 24 hours in 1 day. "24 hours in 1 day. Let's get a third color. How about a nice blue? Oh, we already got blue. Yellow. All right. So hours are now gone. And the only unit we have left, which is the one we need, is days. So now, just like before, we do the math. We got 1,000,000. 1,000,000 is the only number up top. And then underneath, we got 1 times 60 times 60 times 24. So that tells us how many seconds are in a day, which I never know that number. So I'm going to do this division, my dear friends. Divided by 60 times 24. And I get about 11 and a half. It rounds up to 12 if you want to go to the nearest day. That's about 12 days. 12 days. All right. It's a hell of a difference, isn't it? 1,000 seconds was only 17 minutes. 1,000 of those, 1,017 minutes is 12 days. All right, next up is 1,000,000,000 seconds. Okay, based on what happened running out of room last time, I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of room this time. And I said, what unit makes sense here? Think about it this way. If 1,000,000 seconds was about 12 days, this is 1,000 of those, right? 1,000,000 with 3 more zeros is 1,000,000,000, which is 1,000 million. So it's going to be 12,000 days. I think years makes the most sense. I think we should go to years. I'm thinking months originally, but months are too weird because months don't have, there's not a uniform number of days in a month. It's about 30, but it's not. Let's go to years. Let's go to years. So I vote we start knocking this down like we did before. We know that in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. In 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. I'm checking the diagonals here as we go. In 1 day, there are 24 hours. And the last one is going to be years to or days to years. Technically speaking, there are 365.24 days in a year. That's why we have leap years. But I'll just go with 365 here. And I'm almost out of room. Hopefully you can see that. 365 days in 1 year. Okay, now the fun begins. We need 4 different colors to divide off all the units that we have in common. So I've got, what do I got here? I got pink, orange, yellow, and blue. So seconds divides off. Pink divides off minutes. Orange or peach divides off hours. And yellow is going to divide off days. Bless whoever gets my office next. Okay, so the only unit we have left is years, which I think is the one that makes sense. I do believe that makes the most sense. So we're going to end up with years. Let's see if I'm right. And then the math is 1,000, or excuse me, 1,000 million, which is 1 billion, over 1 times 60 times 60 times 24 times 365. Wow. Which is the number of seconds in a year. If you work just that part out, just the bottom part, that's the number of seconds in a year. Man, it's a big old number. So I'm gonna multiply 365 here, then put 3 more zeros here. 31.7 years. Dear friends, about 32 years. Mind-boggling. So 1,000 seconds is a few minutes. 1,000,000 seconds is a few days, and 1 billion seconds is 32 years. So wild, so wild. If you haven't hit your 32nd birthday yet, I highly encourage you to figure out when your 1,000,000th second was. I actually did this years ago. I'm well past my 1,000,000th second now, but I remember my 1,000,000th second. I made sure to take a picture of it at that moment because I'm not much of a geek.